Flower Mound, Texas is one of the most sought after suburbs in the North Dallas-Fort Worth area. But if you're thinking about moving here, there may be some things you didn't know. I'm going to break down 10 surprising facts about living in Flower Mound, including things like schools, cost of living, lifestyle, housing prices, and its proximity to Dallas-Fort Worth. Flower Mound truly is in a perfect spot. You're about 28 miles from downtown Dallas, about 25 miles from Fort Worth, and depending on where in Flower Mound you live, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes or maybe a little bit more from the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. That, to me, is what makes it a great location. So if you travel for work or if you fly a lot, then this is a great location because you're not actually in the city of Dallas or in Fort Worth. You're just a little bit further north in a nice, quiet suburb. And like I said, depending on where you live, you could literally get to the airport faster than some people can get across town. Flower Mound is named after an actual mound. There is literally a 12-acre mound covered in wildflowers in the middle of Flower Mound. It's a local landmark and part of what gives Flower Mound its charm, even though it is a fast-growing city. As of 2024, Flower Mound has over 80,000 residents and it spans 45 square miles. So it's smaller than a mid-sized city. Denton, just north of it, is 160,000 in population with double the landmass, which is a mid-sized city. But Flower Mound is going to be a little bit more quiet suburb. There aren't any major universities there. So about 80,000 residents, 40 square miles. And what is really cool about driving around in Flower Mound is, yes, there are a lot of neighborhoods that we'll talk to you about, but you'll see a lot of green space still, and that is really nice and refreshing. And even though the population has doubled since the 1990s, you don't really feel like you're packed in when you're in Flower Mound. Flower Mound has a wide price range of houses. So there really is something for everyone, from a starter home or a first-time home to townhomes, to luxury estates, and everything in between. Homes begin around the low to mid 400s, although there are houses in Flower Mound that are below 400,000, but for the most part, they are gonna start around the mid to low 400s. But you can easily see houses out there that are also $5 million on luxury estates. So like I said, you've got something for everyone in Flower Mound. So the median home price in Flower Mound is definitely going to be higher than Denton, the city just north of it. The median home price is around $625,000 in Flower Mound. But I show plenty of buyers' houses for less than $625,000. But since you have houses and plenty of them that are $1 million plus, that is going to bring that median home price up a little bit. So whether you're looking for a smaller home or a grand luxury home in a gated community, Flower Mound has it all. All right, let's talk about schools. That seems to be one of the most important topics when we have our Zoom calls with our out-of-state buyers looking to move here. Schools. One of the big draws to Flower Mound are their schools. So Flower Mound is actually Lewisville ISD. It isn't a Flower Mound ISD, it's Lewisville ISD. There are currently 2 high schools there. There are plenty of private schools as well to choose from, but we're talking about public schools here. Flower Mound schools are consistently ranked some of the highest in North Texas. For example, currently, Flower Mound High School has an A+ on niche.com. So you can go to niche.com or greatschools.org to look at all the school ratings, but I encourage you, anytime you're thinking about moving to a specific city, to talk to people that live there. And how can you do that? Well, you can join a lot of local Facebook groups before you even move to that city and start asking questions from other parents whose kids have gone to that school, because everyone's experience is going to be different. And websites and grade scores don't always give the full picture. But Flower Mound is known for their academics, athletics, and curriculum. Let's talk about the weather. So the Dallas-Fort Worth area, North Texas, man, that weather can really keep you on your toes. We don't usually have situations where it's going to be, hot and then all of a sudden get cold, like if you're in Colorado in the summer and the rain comes, it gets cold quickly. It's not like that here. When I say it keeps you on your toes, you know, we have storms in the springtime and in summer. And then we can have the worst winter ever, or we could go years without a snowflake. We could have a year where we've only reached 100 5 times. We can have a year where it got up to 115. That's very rare, by the way. But a typical summer, really, we're going to see anywhere from 30 to 45, sometimes up to 60 days of 100-degree weather. We've also had summers where, like I said, we've reached 100 degrees 5 times, and that was a blessing and absolutely amazing. So, yep, the North Texas weather can definitely keep you on your toes. We have long summers, we do have fall, we do have spring, and we have short winters. So our winters are mainly going to be January and February. It will be cold in December sometimes, you just never know. But then it could be 80. The day we got married in December, my husband and I got married in December, it was 80 degrees, you know? So you just kind of never know sometimes, but we do have all 4 seasons, and I think that is fantastic, and our winters are not 6 months long. Yes, there are tornadoes in the North Texas area. However, I'm going to tell you, I've lived here my entire life. I have never been involved in a tornado. I had never seen with my own eyes a tornado. I have known that there was one maybe a mile away, but it was so minor. The city up Sanger, which is a little bit further north, for some reason, those places that are more out in the country, they just seem to get hit more with hail and things like that. Yes, there are tornadoes. No, it has never been an issue. We do get hail though, and that hail can be pretty bad and damage your roof. So that's definitely something we would talk about when buying a home, by the way. So outdoor lifestyle, because it's so hot here, what the heck do you even do? Well, there's plenty to do outside. You just get used to the heat, to be quite honest with you. My husband and I have been doing CrossFit for 8 years without an air conditioner or a heater. And summertime is my absolute favorite time to be there. I can't stand it in January when I have to get up and it's below freezing. Makes me so mad. So we love the heat. But there are a lot of things to do outdoors. We've got several lakes. There's a lake in Grapevine, Lake Lewisville. There's Ray Roberts, which is for a little bit further north. And in all of those lakes, you got fishing and kayaking and paddleboarding, jet skiing, boating, camping, plenty of things like that. Bike trails, hike trails. There are a lot of wonderful parks in Flower Mound. So just taking your family to parks, there's plenty of outdoor lifestyle here in Flower Mound. I mean, Flower Mound has over 1,000 acres of parkland and 75 miles of trails. Shopping and dining. Flower Mound has every convenience and amenity that you're going to need. So all the grocery stores, Target, Walmart, you've got Costco nearby. Oh, I love Costco. H-E-B is we're getting more of those in the area. Plenty of shopping, not just grocery shopping, but clothes, high-end shopping, casual shopping. You've got a lot of restaurants, very nice restaurants to go to. Flower Mound isn't going to have a big nightlife. They don't have a downtown. There is no downtown Flower Mound with a courthouse. So that is one thing that city does not have. But if you're wanting to go to does anybody go clubbing anymore these days? I'm just wondering. You're gonna need to go to Dallas or Fort Worth. And speaking of Fort Worth, which is very close to Flower Mound, by the way, such a fun place to go to. There are some really awesome places, the stockyards in Fort Worth. You're gonna need to get some cowboy boots because I'm not a big fan of cowboy boots. And every time I've been, I'm literally the odd woman out. So, and I love seeing all the way the ladies dress up in their outfits. It's absolutely so much fun. So really, it's just not that far. So the fact that Flower Mound doesn't have a nightlife just really is not that big of a deal. There are plenty of things to do, and I'm telling you, all the conveniences are close by. So let's talk about the cost of living for Flower Mound. We already know the average home price tends to be a little on the high side, but what is the average cost of living? It's not the cheapest suburb around, but it's definitely more affordable than Dallas. Overall, the cost of living is about 9% higher than the national average, mostly because of housing, but there is a trade-off. You get excellent schools, larger lots for some of those houses, and great amenities. And remember, even though we do have property tax, Texas does not have state income tax. Let's talk about the commute and lifestyle in Flower Mound. Flower Mound is definitely a car-dependent city. It's not really a walkable place. Public transit just really isn't a thing here. The average commute could be around 28 minutes, but the trade-off is you've got the parks, the trails, more green space, and there are areas of Flower Mound where you're driving and there's just nothing but beautiful land still. It's not packed in, it's not dense. So that's the trade-off that you get there. You get an amazingly beautiful city with beautiful parks, with lakes nearby, plenty of shopping areas all throughout Flower Mound. It feels spacious, but yes, it is going to take you a little bit longer sometimes to get from north to south Flower Mound. You're 28 minutes from Dallas, which honestly is nothing at all. That's an amazing commute. But that's just the lifestyle of living in Flower Mound. So those are 10 things that you might not have known about Flower Mound, or maybe you found them interesting about Flower Mound. We think it's a great city to explore and a great city to consider if you are moving north of Dallas-Fort Worth. And if that is you, we would be absolutely honored to be your realtor of choice. We have lived here our entire life. I say our because my husband is on my team. We are a team. We would love to help you out. So if you have questions about whether or not Flower Mound or any other nearby city is the right one for you, let's hop on a quick 20 to 30 minute discovery Zoom call. We would love to go over all of that with you. You can book that in the description below. There's a Calendly where you can book it, or just call me, text me, or send me an email. That's really what most of our clients do. And we hop on a Zoom call and we get to know each other a lot better so we can help you make an informed decision about your move here to Texas. But we would love to help you make that smooth move. We've got a lot of other videos about some surrounding suburbs of Dallas-Fort Worth, Denton, Flower Mound, Justin, Northlake, even Salina and Prosper. So go back, take a look at some of those, and we'll see you on the next one.